Okay, good morning everyone. So I'm going to do a quick demo on project 4.4 router configuration. So I'll try and go over the pain points for our classmates. Some of them couldn't download the packet tracer. Please note I'm running this from a Linux system, not a Windows system, so the menus and some things will be different, but basically they're the same. Where there are major differences, I would mention that in the video. Okay, so first of all, for you to download the tracer application, you need to go to the Cisco website, which is just do www.netarcade.com. go in there, create an account if you don't have one. If you have, sign in. So there is this introductory course you're supposed to do. If you're not sure, please go back to the I don't know what week we did that. Go back to the week we did that and check the steps there and see what you're supposed, which of the introductory courses you're supposed to do. But when you get into the introductory course, that course is actually supposed to show you how to use the packet tracer. Okay, so here you have the download. If you click on this download, it's lesson 1.0 and actually item 1.0.3. so you click on that, then you have a link to download the tracer. Click on that. Let me click on that. Okay, so that's the link. In fact, if you take this link as it is now and place it in your browser, you might be able to download it without having to log in. But I suggest you log in and run through the introductory application course. It will help you know how to manage it and basic things you're supposed to do on the tracer. Okay, so with that done, let's go back here. So here we are supposed to download two files. We have the router configuration start file with all the configuration set up, and then the ones you're supposed to work on left out for you to work on. Then we have the complete network documentation. This shows you something similar to this, but it does that for each of the routers you're supposed to configure. So let me quickly download this. Okay, so here it's week 4. Okay, let me do save. Okay, that's been saved. If I were to open it, I'm using WPS. You should be using 365. So open that with WPS. Okay, give it a second or two to get open. Alright, so if you read through the instructions, when you open your packet tracer, basically this is what you'll be seeing. Okay, we are told here that the triangles, after this project you should have end-to-end connectivity in the entire network, and all the red triangles should be gone. So these red triangles here, 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 and here, here, and here should all be green. The lines should be red, but these triangles will turn green. That's when you know each the offices are able to communicate with each other and pass packets between them. Okay, so let me see if my WPS is opening. No, it's not. That file I downloaded is for Microsoft 365. I'm using WPS on my Linux, although I think I have I can access my 365 online. Let me see if I can do that. 365 login. Let me see whether that will happen. Okay, click on that one. Okay, let me increase the volume a bit. The volume is at the highest. Okay, alright, so let me sign in into my 365 and see if I can upload that file and open it online. Okay, let me do this. Okay, Okay, so give me a moment, let me sign in. Okay, so if I unlock this, let's hope it doesn't time out. It doesn't. Okay. Alright, so we signed in. Okay, so we signed in. Let me upload that file so that I can open up here. Upload and open. Routing address, let me do that here. Upload complete. Okay, the separate window. Okay, so for Linux users, you can still use 365, but you have to do it from the browser. So let's look at the information we've been given. We'll be working with that. I will try to explain. There's some issues around our understanding of the instructions, and most of us are making mistakes because of this. So these are the tables for each of the offices, for the routers, and for the wireless connection, and of course for the OSPF, this part of it. I think I saw that. Okay, no, that's on, not here, but actually it is here. Okay, so we have this. Okay, we're working with this. So let's quickly start. Let's do so. Please read through first. Get an understanding of what is expected, then start, so that you don't make mistakes. Okay, so of course we download this file into which we'll be pasting our screenshots. Let's go ahead and open this file. So I have that open already. Let me quickly run to that. I don't know why I don't have my packet tracer open here. That's strange. Let me minimize this. Okay, it's open. How come the application icon is not showing down here? Okay, so that's the application icon. Okay, so this is the packet tracer. Okay, so these are the offices and all that. So let's go back to the instructions. Okay, so let's start with the first one is the Ogden router. So let's go. I have to kind of hold my mic whilst I speak because the volume seems to trail off. If I drop it, you might not hear me very well. Okay, so Ogden router is this one here. So we'll click on that one. Let's minimize this. This window will still be open. That way it makes it easier for us to follow instructions while we see our router UI. Okay, so it says press enter to get the prompt. So we'll go to the CLI. Once you're in here, click into it, anywhere into it, and then hit enter. At the bottom you'll see this prompt here. Okay, so I basically don't know how to zoom in or zoom out, zoom in rather. I don't know how to zoom in into this, so you might need to make the video zoom in your own at your own end so that you can see what I'm doing. So it's important you look at this prompt. That will tell you if you're doing the right, whether you're doing the right thing or not. So we enter, we get a prompt, then of course we enable admin mode, executive mode as it said. So we just we'll type enable and hit enter. So the prompt changes to this. You now have a hashtag at the end that tells you you are in the executive mode. So let me see if I can put this between let me put this way. Okay, that's better. This will be much better. So the next thing we do is let's see the interfaces that are available. So we type show IP int brief. Okay, so we have all this. So we have the gigabit Ethernet 101 and this other one. This one has an IP assigned and it's up. These other ones are down. Okay, so now let's notice that GI01 was configured last week. Okay, so this was done last week, the one we did last week. So let's go into the configuration mode. You do that by typing conf t, hit enter. See, the prompt is changed. Okay, so let me bring up my text editor. That way I can copy and paste certain things that might not be so clear. My text editor, I don't know where. Okay, so my video went off, so I brought up the text editor to go into I basically have to start this all over again. I noticed something went off. Okay, so for the text editor, I got that running, and then of course let's go to the Odkin router. Let's see, we're there already. I have it up and running. So the Odkin router is here. So to get into the executive mode, you type enable, and this will bring you into the executive mode. Note that you have a hashtag at the end of that particular, the name of the router. That tells you you're in the executive mode. Then to see the interfaces that are there, you type show IP interface brief, or in short form show IP int br. Okay, so when you do that, you have this is the interface, and this particular one is the one I have done. My video went off, so normally at the beginning this is how it was. This was set in the last assignment. We are going to assign an IP to this other one here. Okay, we're going to assign an IP to it, and then I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so first of all, we need to go into the config mode. So you type conf t, and then when you're in that mode, you select let's go there. You select conf t, use the host name to change the name of the router. For this particular command, we will not be doing this on the Odkin and the Provo routers. Those have been configured already. We'll do it in the training office and in the admin office. So for this particular configuration, doing the Odkin configuration, we won't be doing this here. So we enable secret on this machine by simply typing enable secret and then Cisco. Note that there are spaces between the words you type. So when you type that, it goes through. Then the next thing is you select the vertical terminal for the console login. Do line VTY space 0 space 4. Hit enter. Then you do password space Cisco, hit enter. Then you do login, hit enter. Then we now set the IP on the route on that. There are two interfaces that it has. Let's look at its table. It has this and this. This one has already been configured previously. We're going to configure this one. Now, if you know, the network mask is here 28 and here is 30. I use, when I'm not sure of the mask, I use this online website where you can see the mask for each of the octet representation of each of the masks. So you can come here and look for 28. You have 240 at the end, and so on and so forth. So do that. Then we come back here. So let's go back to the commands and see what we're trying to do. Okay, so no shut will actually shut down this particular interface, but it will be assigned an IP of 10.1.17.245. Then for extra interfaces for any particular router, you will repeat the same thing. Okay, but when you do repeat, you come here and check. Okay, so but we'll do that. Let's get to it at the end. We confirm this, so we're going to assign the OSPF, which helps to advertise IP addresses on the routers to other routers. So for this one, we have 2. So where did these values come from? Go back to this table, see the network here, see the mask, see the area. That's good to go. See this one. This is the network, and then the mask also. All right, so let's do this. This is where I am currently. My video went off, so it's kind of, I had to make 2 videos, making 2 videos as the other one went off. I don't know what happened. Okay, so let me bring this one up. So I want to set for you to select the router to configure with this. You type router OSPF and 1. Process number is 1. Let's look at the table. Okay, process number, I see it there, 1. All right, so I will do the one for the train router. Okay, the train router, and then that one is a bit, has more interfaces to work with, so I'll do that one so you see what happens. Okay, so we'll go up. Let's do this one now. So I will just copy this. So I'm stressing myself, I copy that and then click in here and do paste. Hit enter. It goes. I copy this. Okay, and then paste it again and hit enter, and it's done. If you discover that you made a mistake, simply put back the command, but at the beginning of the command put no with a space. Okay, all right, so if you put no with a space and hit enter, the previous configuration you did will be removed. Okay, and then you put a new one. Now save the running configurations to the start configuration. Okay, so we do that by doing do copy run start. Now the reason why I have a do at the beginning of my command is because I'm not doing this from the executive mode, I'm doing this from the configuration mode. So to do that from this mode, I'll put a do in front of my command and it will run. Okay, and it goes. So that's saved. Okay, so repeat steps 1 to 10 on the remaining routers. When completed, all links should be green. Now let's go back to let's pick one router. I will not do all 4. I would pick just one router and work with that one. Okay, so let me pick one router. Provo is already, some things in Provo. Provo, how many? Let's see Provo. Let me do this. Let me do training. Training is a bit more difficult, so let me do training. So let me click on training. I bring this down. I go to the CLI. That's usually one of the first things you do. Click into any part of this CLI, and then that. So first thing we do is enable admin mode. That's it. So let's see the what they call them. Let's see the interfaces on this particular router. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go and see our 1, 2, 3, 4. The first one is 0. Interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so the first one is 0, 0. Second one is 0, 2, which is down here. Okay, next one is 0, 1, which is here, and the next one is 0, 0. Okay, so this first one we do get to touch it. There's no 0, 1. We're not touching this one. Okay, we're not touching this one, we're just touching this and this. Okay, all right, so let's start. So we've seen the interfaces. So what do we do? Let's go back to instructions we use for Hotgain and then just simply run the same thing. So we're going to first of all rename this router. That's the first thing we're going to do. So we've done enable, we've seen the IP interfaces. Let's go into config mode. You do conf t. Okay, we're in the config mode. Now we're going to name this router host name train router. Okay, let's go and see what is. Okay, it's called train router, so that's the name you will call it. So hit enter. Okay, you see the name has changed. See that? It has changed. Okay, so the next thing we'll do is set the password. So we do enable secrets, we do enable secrets and put Cisco. Remember, all the password is Cisco, and then we select the terminal lines VTY 04, hit enter and do password Cisco and then do login. So, okay, so that's fine. Now let's confirm. Okay, let's assign an IP. Let's assign an IP to the router. So let's assign an IP to each of the interfaces in the router. So let's go back to our diagram. We'll start from here. So the first one there is int gi00 gi0/g0. We select that one. Then the IP address. I'm trying to hook this up. It's not easy. Okay, so the IP address will be IP address. Okay, so if you look at this, the IP, sorry, this one, the IP is 10.1.17.1 and the network mask is 26. So 10.1.17.1 network mask is 26. 255. I don't know what 26 the last octet, what it is. So I just come to my online subnet to check for 26. So it's 192. So I come back here. Okay, so it's dot 192. Okay, so I'm simply just repeating what they did for the other router. So that's the mask, IP address, the mask. So let's do that. Okay, hit that, it goes, and I do no shots. It's up, hit enter. Okay, so now let's do for the next what they call it, the next interface, gi020. We select that one, and then we do, I just bring up what I typed previously. The IP address is different, it's 250 at the end. So let me remove the 1 at this end and do 250. And then the network mask is 30. So it's definitely not going to be 192 at the end. So let's look at this again. 30 is 252. So I come back here and do 252, 30, and do no shots. No shots. Okay. All right. So let's do again. Let's pick another IP. This time is 101/0, and then 253. Okay, the network mask is the same. So I just to see the history of what you have done, all you need is use your up arrow key, and what you typed previously will come up. Then you make some changes and hit enter. So this is the same mask as this other one. Yes, this other one we did previously. So hit enter and do no shot, and it goes down. So I do for 000, selecting the interface before I now run the command. So 246 at the end. So 246, hit enter. All right, so let's see what we have done. Let me not waste my time. Do show IP int brief. All right, so we have assigned IP addresses to this one. Okay, this one is up, these other ones are down. Why is this one down? Administratively down. Why is that? Okay, so let me select that particular 000. No shots. So hit that. Okay. Let me just run that command, no shot, on each of them to be sure we did the right thing. Let me select 010 and do no shots. Okay, then 020 and do no shots. Okay, then look at the, okay, so they are up. All right, so the next thing we do is to set up the OSPF. Let's see how that's done. Okay, this is done. Then OSPF, as usual, you type router OSPF, then the process number, which for this particular router is 2. So we do router OSPF 2. Okay, so that's done. Now we start the process of putting this. Let's go and look at the command once more. It's network, the IP, the mask, the area, and this one. So let's do the first one, which is network. The IP address. The IP address. Look at this. For the first one, it is 10.1.17.0. So we do 10.1.17.0. Then the mask is 0.0.0.63, and the area is 0. Okay, let's look at the value for the area. Okay, the area is 0. Okay, area is 0. So let's look at the command once more and be sure we are right. So that's it. Look at what we've typed. If you made a mistake, we enter the values of the command, put a no at the beginning with a space preceding between the no and the other commands, and then hit enter. It will clean up what you did last and make the correction. Okay, so let me correct this again. The mask is 3. Doing this way so that it's more efficient to just use your cursor key to bring up the old command, correct what you typed previously to the current thing you want to type, and then hit enter. So let's hit enter again. I'll go again. The next one is 3, still 3, but the IP, the network is different. It's 252 now. 252. Okay, the next one is 244. 244. Okay, so that's been configured for the training router. So what else are we supposed to do? I'll save the save the command. Do save copy run starts. Okay, so that's done. Let's get out of this mode. Alright, so let's look at our diagram. Let's see what has happened. You see, it's turned green. So these two can talk. Okay, see that it turned green. This one has turned green. Okay, so let me configure for the admin office so that these two will turn green. I'll leave you to configure this other one. Okay, alright, so let's do the LLC office. Okay, so I will close this as I'm done with this. Bring up the LLC router, which is use the names to know. I think that's it. Yeah, SLC DHCP router. Okay, so that's that one. Hit that one. Hit the CLI. Click in it, and then it comes router. We're going to rename it. So if you remember the process, you go into admin mode, do conf t, and then do host name. Let's see the name of that router from the table we're given. Let's go up. It says SLC underscore DHCP router. So let me bring this here. Okay, so let me bring this here. So the host name is going to be SLC underscore DHCP underscore router. Alright, so it changes. Okay, then what was the next thing we're supposed to do? We see the interfaces that are there. So let's do show int brief. Okay, I missed that one. Show IP. Okay, so we have, how many interfaces are we to work with in SS? Just 3. Okay, so we're working with the first one. We're working with the third one. Then we're working with the last one. Okay, so let's begin the process. Let's go back. Let's do setting a password first. So enable secrets. So let's enable secret and get the password set. So we do enable secrets Cisco password Cisco. Am I doing the right thing? Let me look at that again. Okay, that's all we need. We don't need to do that one. Then we do line VTY. Then we do line VTY 0 to 4. Hit enter. Do password Cisco. Password Cisco, and then do login. Okay, so we are done. Now we're going to pick each of the interfaces and set the IP address for each of them. Assign an IP address to them. So let's go up. Let's go up to the admin. So the first interface we'll come across is 00. Select that one. Then IP address is what? Is 10.1.17.113. Network mask is 28. That's, I think, is 240. Let me type this first. 255.255.255.240. Let me confirm that. 2 is 28, so it's 240. So that's fine. Okay, so let me confirm. We've confirmed that. So we do this, and then no shots. All right, so let's do it for the next interface. First of all, set the number here, which is 0 0/0. Okay, and then you set the IP. The IP is, so this is 252. That's the network mask, and then the IP address is 2121 at the end, the last octet at the end. So we hit enter. Overlaps with this. Okay, so that's wrong. Okay, that is wrong. Okay, let's see. The first one, what did we do? 10, 117, 113, 240. GI. Okay, let's. Okay, it's wrong. It's definitely wrong. So let's go back. Let's correct it. It's 198.3.24.121, and then that network mask. Okay, so it works. The next interface we should pick is the one that has 0 to 0/2/0. So this is 2. Pick the one. The IP is this. Same network mask as the previous one, but the IP is somewhat different. 10.10.1.17.254. Okay, so that's fine. If you want to see what's happened, you do oh, we didn't do shots for that one. No shots. Okay, all right, so let's select the other network, what they call it, this one, and do no shots, so that we know we're doing it right. So if you do show IP int brief. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. It's all up. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is to assign the OSPF. So first of all, we do router OSPF, and then the process is 3. So we do 3 and hit enter. Now we begin the process, which is network. For the first router, 10.1.17.254. 112, and mask is 0.0.0.15. Area is 0. The next one is the mask is 3, and then the IP address is 198.3.24.120, and we hit that one. The next one is still 3 for the network mask, but the IP address is something is happening. That's not what. Okay, network mask is this, but the IP is different. So they do IP is 10.1.17.248. Do 48 for 248. So this we okay, so we've done we got something wrong. Okay, we put a slash instead of a dot, so let's remove this. Let's fix that. Okay, so that's done. I want to save the copy one start. Okay, so that's done. Let's be sure. That's done. Let's be sure. Let's look at the diagram. Let's look at our diagram. You see that it's turned green, it's turned green. These are green, this is green, so they are talking to each other. These ones are also green. Okay, because we've set this up properly, so it has internet access, and of course it talks to this router. This one, you do the same thing. Once you set this one up, it will talk to this one. So I'll leave you to do that one. Let me go into something else. Let's see, configure the routers. We've done that. Take a screenshot of the topology with green links, paste it in your screenshot document. Access Hotgain router and use the show IP command. You should have discovered 7 routes through OSPF. It should be 7. Okay, if they're not 7, then you didn't do it right. Okay, so fix the set up the probe router, and you should have it connect and turn green. So configure DHCP. Okay, so we do that one. Say the SLC DHCP router has already been configured for DHCP to support the entire network in project 2.4. In 2.4, project 2.4, you configured and tested DHCP in the SLC administrative office. Commands for the remaining networks have been added. Study the configuration below and note the excluded addresses. These addresses cover statistically configured devices in the network. Also note the scope of the DHCP pools. Your DHCP configured devices should receive IP addresses within these scopes. Okay, so excluded addresses, DHCP, this one. Okay, look at the configuration for PC2 in SLC administrative office. You should have an IP address outside the excluded addresses of the scope. Open a non-VLAN PC in the topology. For example, look at PCO in the Hotgain office. Switch gateway to this. Note that it does not receive a valid IP address. So first of all, let's go to the PC2 in the SLC office. So this is SLC office. This is PC2. Let's look at the IP address. Okay, so if you look at this, that's the IP 10.1.17.119. because it's receiving address from here. That's fine. Then let's go into the Hotkin office, and what they say we should be PC0. Let's look at that one. Okay, it's not receiving any address. Okay, so let's go back. Okay, so because note that it does not receive a valid address in the network, even though the DHCP is properly configured on DHCP server. Okay, so there's something called DHCP relay, where when you have multiple routers on different networks sending packets across, normally routers will be asked to drop packets that are not in the same network. Okay, so to get it to be able to pass it on and return the information when it needs, when it's sending out, when you send a discovery packet out, it gets to be dropped if it's not in the same network. Okay, so in this case you need to set up a relay that will help to move that packet across. So if you want to get more clarification, please look at this test out example, and it should help with that. So let's configure helper IP. So helper addresses, so we have three. We have one in Provo, we have one in Train, and have one in Hotkin. So it's for this particular interface in the router, and this one is for this particular interface in the router. Okay, let's look at the topology once more. Okay, so a router here is not getting what it should be getting. The information is coming from the admin office. It comes here. They are on different networks. Okay, so that doesn't work. Okay, so let's fix that. Okay, so we go into, let's go into okay, the interfaces and addresses are identified in the router assignments. For example, on this, enter this. Okay, so let's do for the Hotkin router. Let's go into the Hotkin router. The one here. Okay, so let's come down. Let me put this one, minimize that one. So come here, hit enter, do enable once more, and then hit enter. Oh, password has been set, so we need to do this to be able to get into that router. Okay, so select that interface, int gi01, and then we do IP helper address 10.1.17.249, and then exit, and then copy run start. So we do copy run start. Okay, that works. Let's do for the, we've done for Hotkin. Let's do for the what do you call it? Let's do for the train router. Okay, so let's go down. Let's select the train router from, come here, train the router, come down. So go into admin mode, enable, put the Cisco password and config T, and then select the IP, so GI00, and then you do IP helper address. The IP helper address, so you say, let me see the command once, please. IP helper address. Okay, let's see the upper address. Let's go back to our table. Upper address is 10.1.17.249, not .1 please. Okay, that's fine. And then we do, what do? We do exit, and then hit enter, and then we do copy, run. I did the wrong thing there. Run starts. Okay, so that's fine. Let's go back and look at this guy. He should have, okay. Okay, 169254, that's an APIPA address, so it's not reaching the DHCP server. Okay, so let's hold on. It should come online. Let me be sure I got the right IP. 10.1.17.249. 10.1. Oh, I got the, yeah, 10.1.17.249. Okay, they're all the same. Okay, let's go back to Odkin. Let's go back to the Odkin router and look at the command we ran there. So Odkin router, okay, 10.1.17.249. okay, so it's fine. Okay, so this has an IP address, right? Should still an APIPA address. Let me look at the instructions once more. So instructions, if you go through for this, it says PC2 in the admin office. So if you do PC2 in the admin office, PC2 in the admin office, PC2 in the admin office. Okay, so it has this address. Okay, that's the gateway, please. Okay, so the address is fine. So we're waiting for this other one to come online. Why is it not coming online? Okay, so let's hold on. Okay, still an APIPA address. So let's I'm sure I did the right thing. So let me hit this router to see if I set the helper address, IP helper address, this on which of the interface. Okay, this one 01, this one is 00, trainer is 00. So let me see. We're waiting for things can get confusing at times. Okay, PC0 in the Odkin office. So this Odkin router, we've done what we're supposed to do. PC0 is not receiving that. It takes some time, they say. Okay. Okay, this one has an IP address. That's cool. Okay, let me click on static, click on DHCP. Let's see what happens. still an APIPA address. Let's see the it won't receive a gateway because it's not reaching this. What is the issue? It says it will take some time. How long is some time? Okay, let me see. It says it may take some time for DHCP process to complete. Once the PC has a DHCP assignment, take a screenshot of the Ethernet page and then for each PC and paste the screenshots. Okay, so let's do the configure DNS. Okay, so let's do the configure DNS. PC0 still has. Okay, let's let it do its work. So meanwhile, let's configure the LLC DNS server. It's in the admin office. Let's it's in admin office. This is it. So click on it, bring this down. All right, go to the services tab, click on DNS, and then using the network device assignment sheet, enter A records for the remaining switches and routers. Okay, so we have a record we were given, so we need to enter records for the remaining routers. So if you go to, I have mine here for the remaining switches and routers. So I'll leave you to do it. I'll show you how to do one of it. It shouldn't be that difficult. This is a router. So let me bring up this. Let me bring up this. So we have SLC DHCP router here already. We have the SLC DNS. We have this switch. We have this one, A record for Cisco. You just move through and pick. So Hodgkin router is in here. Okay, so this is the address. Okay, so you can just type in here. And then the IP address is 10.1.17.145, and it's added. Okay, then you do the same thing for the switch, for the printer. Come down here, do for this, do for this, do for this. Come down, this has been added already. Come down to training office, do for train router, this switch, this switch, this switch, this switch. I actually did for all the static IP addresses. Okay, so I'll leave that one for you to do. It shouldn't be difficult for you to do. So that's quite easy. So let's go back and check on. Let's go back and check on and see if our PC0 has picked up an IP address. Oh, still with the APIPA. I'm not sure this thing worked out well. So let me check the advert. I'll check this and check this. Morning, Bishop.
Morning, sir.
Morning.
How are you today?
Fine.
Family of God.
All right, so let's check our commands to see if we added the OSPF properly. I'll scroll through the history and see if I did that. Okay, so let's look at the table. Let's confirm that first. Let's look at our table. Okay, so for the Hodgkin router we have let me minimize this. We have 144 and 15. We have 3. Okay, that's fine. Then for the helper we have 10.1.17.249. Let's see if we did that one right. 10.1.17.249 helper. Next, what the interface did we pick? GI01. Is that correct? GI01. So that's fine. Now let's do for the training. Let's do for the training area. So if you go to train, we do this router. Let's look at the history. The first router there. Let's go back to our information. First router for training is okay, that's 0. Let me remove this. That's the first router. Let me do this. Bring this down. Go up. Okay. So let's look at the history. 10.1.17.249. And the router is, the interface is this. So that's fine. Let's look at this information. Okay. So the first one is 063 248 3 252 3 244. This. Great. So that works. Okay, so let's wait. Let's see. This one. Still an people address. Still an people address. Still on a people address. Okay, so that the video will not be too long, so this should actually change when it's okay. So you keep checking on it to change. If not, just retrace your steps and see what we might have done, or you might have what we have not done right. So I've waited for over how many minutes? I don't see this changing. Let me be sure the interfaces are up. It is up. If it's not up, then you will not see this. You won't see the green you have here. So it's up. That shows you it's up. Let me come here. So we do enable Cisco. Alright, so show IP int 3. Okay, so interface up. Okay, let me check the interfaces and be sure they are fine for the admin office. So the first one is 10.1.17.113. the next one is 198.3.24.121. the last one is 10.1.17.259. but we're seeing 254 here, so that's where the error is coming from. So we do int gi 0 2 2 config first, conf t, then you do int gi 0 2 0. Okay, so we had a mistake here. The IP address should be 249 for the last octet, but we have 254 here. See there, 254, so we need to correct that. So let's select the interface first. Okay, so we're there, and then I can drill through. Okay, I don't have any history, so I didn't know IP address 10.1.17.254 mask 255.255.255. Network mask is 30, so that's 240, right? No, it's 252. 252. Let's confirm that, please. Okay, 252. Okay, so that's where the mistake was. Or that's where the mistake. Yeah, that's where the mistake is. Okay, so we need to remove this. We need to remove the one we have, which is this. Okay, we need to remove that one and then change it to 249 for the last octet. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll come back here and do 249. I know how to put that one, but not. Okay, so remove the no at the beginning, hit enter, and then let's save the configuration. Do copy, run, start. Okay, so now let's look at the IP addresses we have. Something is wrong. Okay, so let's do exit. Do show IP int with 249 as it should be. Now let's look at that computer and see if it's picked up. Okay, there you go. 10.1.17.148, so it's not working. All right, so that's that for that. So we had that error and we fixed it, and we have our DHCP working as it should. So watch the video. If you have any issues, please drop your comments. Thank you.